And we're live on the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum show. It's kind of late, but it's a little rainy out there. I wanted to make sure the wife got to work, not crashing her bike on the way. So, hey, welcome to the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. I'm a little wet out there walking the dog earlier this morning, and everyone changing their plans on me on the way in to be doing the show. So we're here now. I want to talk about job postings that say, quote, all gender. First, I saw this post. Someone was nice enough, and today's my last day on my current contract. So closing all that out. So it's going to be a great day. Just because all the new adventures that are coming along. So I've been out there looking for jobs, and someone sent me a post from over in Europe that said it was a Scrum Master or an Agile Coach, all genders, right? It says all genders. I'm like, what is this all genders thing? Couldn't figure it out. Because here in the United States, we don't really think that way. I hope not, at least. But why they all genders? And they kind of give me think about those Agile accountants I always talk about who do things that don't necessarily behind it, and they issues with it, right? I just, how do I have a slowdown? There's no one in the house. All right, we're working on it. I just saw my whole screen just kind of fade in and out there. It was a bad connection or something. Anyway, but we don't have that here in the States. We don't have these all gender job postings. The first time I ever saw it, I'm like, what is this? Are people worried I wouldn't hire a different gender for a position and all? I was like, man, that went out a long time ago. And I said, I never even think that way in the first place. So I messaged and asked. I'm going to share some of my thoughts and insights to the discussion in this show. So this is the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And here we talk about Scrum and Agile in a very practical and tactical way so that you can bring value to your customer, not work crazy hours to get there and have a little fun. In today's little HR section, I guess, human resources, job postings, applying for jobs. And it really reminded me, I would never even think that way, right? But this is what was in the conversation. So I did comment, I was like, what's with the all gender? I've never seen this before. Well, in certain languages, certain cultures, they just have masculine and feminine wording, right? And they're worried that people overinterpret if we just put a masculine name or a feminine name on a position, that only males and only females could apply to those positions. And I'm like, oh God, that's crazy thought. But apparently it's true. Like, for a cook or something, there's a male version and a female. Some may say that, well, if it's a male version of a word, then only males can apply. So I can't apply because I'm female. Or if it says a female name, I can't apply it because I'm a male. So it does not, I just can't do it. And I'm like, wow. So that's the real overinterpretation of words, languages, phrases are used. And I actually see a lot of Agile accountants. This is what they do by habit. They don't understand. Like, I've written stuff and people said, well, I did this. Well, that's not what I said. Not what I meant for you to do. But they just go with the way their interpretation is. Could you imagine if someone wrote a masculine word for a higher job, for an engineer? Let's say it's an engineer, and they had a masculine version of engineer, and they wrote the masculine verb. And this is okay, and they wrote that down. And someone interpreted it as, I'm only allowed to hire male engineers. Where in the day of age is that? But you know what? There are people out there who will think this in this society, that just because I used the male version of the word engineer or something like that, that as an HR person, that I could only hire male engineers. And there's people out there that would think that I can only hire, or I can't apply because I'm not a male or whatever gender you are, that I can't apply to the position. And they aren't inquisitive enough to ask a further question. Did you really mean this? Or it's just well, I meant everything. Yeah, that's what I meant. But they will go right with it and bang right into it and do exactly what was written in the language because that's the way it was written. They don't question anything. Well, that's not an Agile way of thinking. That is not the Agile mindset. That's that interaction versus documentation. We were talking about that yesterday, right? So if I put a posting that had a female version of an engineer, said, I just want a female version of an engineer. Now, it could happen, but I just want the female version of the engineer. So the hiring person says, well, I won't interview any males or any other genders that want to apply for that engineering position. Well, one, in this, you go to jail in this country if you did that, or you lose a lot of money as a company. Two, why anybody just overthink that and just interpret the documentation? Well, I got to do exactly what it says without understanding the meaning behind it and what it really was meant to do, and making sure you do that. And we have to make sure we really talk to people and understand and have conversations when you see those things that just don't make sense. And you got to inquire, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. And we don't do enough in this world with that. We go right into, well, I'm just going to go this way. And they told me to do it. I'm just going to do it. We gotta stop for a second, slow down a little bit. It's like when I'm transitioning of jobs. I'm walking the dog this morning, and I put a TikTok out, and I got to put the Instagram out there. Just slowing down a little bit, enjoying the moment. Take it easy. Don't overdo it. Doesn't have to be done right away, or it's not. It's okay to question and make sure you have a full understanding of what you're doing. And this is where those agile accountants really hurt agile. It's like, well, we got to do velocity. Well, how many velocity points? And they go on this whole calculation. Well, like half points. It's like, no, don't overthink this. Don't need a half point. Why would you even go there? It's not necessary. Don't do it. They overinterpret what is used in the language of how to do stuff, and they overdo it, and then they make it worse, right? So I'm just going to say, slow down a little bit. You see something that's kind of out of the ordinary, it's okay to ask, okay, did you really mean this? You didn't mean this, did you? And go there. And I think in the world today, if we would do that more often, and I'm like praying, if we would do that a little more morning and just say, hold on, this what you wrote really doesn't make any sense. And this means this and this and this language. Oh no, I didn't mean that. Don't put that. Please change it. How do we make it better so I don't set this off, right? And just take a second and look at it. I think the world will be better off. And don't overreact to stuff. Like, I was like, well, what is this? This is different. I've never seen this before. So when you do see a job position that says all genders, just take in mind, it's because the language is set up where they have a masculine and feminine version. There's no in-between version of the word, and people will overinterpret it and get upset because they picked one or the other and say, well, that's not for me. And that's not what they meant, right? Go ahead and send them an email, ask them a question, confirm, do you want that? No, we're open for everyone. We just picked the word and we did what we did. But it's okay to ask. But maybe they actually meant it on purpose too, because there's times when that's important. So you should ask clarifying questions to find out what's going on. So I just want to share that with you. Interesting job postings. So you'll see those different job postings. Don't overreact to them. And then I want to remind you, we do have our Slack channel for Agile people. And the 15th of February, I got Jennifer Steelman. She's going to be presenting Kanban in our nightly program on that Wednesday night for our meetup.com. Look up 5 a.m. Mester Scrum in the meetup.com world. You should find us. I hope they should be able to find us. And should be a good night. Good stuff. Join our Slack channel. It's only $10 a month. It's a way of working out at the gym for your $10 a month, just to get you in there and talk about stuff and trying to get value out of those relationships. Okay. With that, I say, have a great day. See you tonight. We'll do the jobs. It's kind of what I wanted to talk about, the job posting of all genders, because there are job postings out there that do say that. And I don't want people thinking that I can't apply as a woman or a gender for a position that's listed as a male position, because that's the language that they use. And go ahead and ask those clarifications. Don't hesitate to join, and maybe someone just made a mistake, but they never thought that way. Like, I would never ever in my life think that way. I was going to hire a male, hire a female for a position that could be anything or any gender there is, and would never have thought that. But sometimes they can interpret that way, and it's good to ask a question. So with that, I say, have a great day. Enjoy it. Hopefully it'll be a wonderful day for you all. In my last day on this current contract, and that who knows what's next. Take care. Bye. See ya. And